Now let's talk about Amgen, which is one we own in our Hotstacks portfolio. This is a biotech company based in California. It has a whole slew of product portfolios, including some older stuff like Neupogen, which is what you take if you've had chemo in order to simulate your white and red blood cell regeneration. Enbrel, which is one of the world's top-selling drugs for rheumatoid arthritis. That's old people with creaky joints. And then some of the new stuff coming through, like Repatha, which is a new PCSK9 drug treatment for cholesterol. So it works better than the statins that everybody is on, right? Myself included. Anyway, Amgen, market cap $135.4 billion. Price earnings ratio 16.88. Satisfactory dividend yield, 2.48%. It's interesting, again, didn't do all that well, but has lifted its game in the last sort of year or so, getting back above $180 a share.
Yeah, I mean, this one I think is probably a bit different to Novartis, even though, you know, the drugs that they manufacture, you know, kind of overlap in terms of their therapeutic use. Yeah. These are more biological drugs. So this is more of a technological company. You know, from that perspective.
More research-oriented.
More research-orientated, and you know, the difference between these sort of drugs and the standard sort of drugs that the likes of a Novartis would manufacture, for example, is that, you know, these drugs contain live agents that are designed to boost your immune system.
So they're the ones that are complicated to make. So they, the drug compounds end in MAB, which stands for monoclonal antibodies. You can't believe they like manufacture these things using the ovarian cells of the Chinese hamster. Then they see how this cell reacts to that cell. So it's very difficult to copy. That's another important point.
Yes, but it's not and it's not the traditional putting of chemicals into your body.
Yes. It's not a molecule based on sort of grinding up and adding a few things like a science experiment.
Exactly, it's a biological agent that's and now nobody really knows the long-term impact of introducing foreign biological agents into your body. I think we should say that as well. But the idea behind it is that it helps to naturally improve your immune system to fight things like cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, and the sort of things that you mentioned.
Some of these things, though, are very expensive. So let's just dwell on that. Repatha, for example, costs about $15,000 a year. So that's a lot. And your medical aid is probably screaming when they say, when your doctor says you need that. There's another one coming, which is a migraine treatment, which deals with the blood-brain barrier, whatever that is. That's called Erenumab. And that, again, excuse me, the thought of the cost of it is making me cough. It's off the charts. But that's, I guess, where it comes down to, you know, how many people are there that have the sufficient coverage to cover that particular drug.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you look at the cost of these things, I think the big difference or the issues the regulators are having with it is the difference in the cost in the private sector versus the public sector. You know, a person who's got private health insurance, for example, has to pay almost 100% more for the treatment that you would undergo versus somebody who qualifies for the treatment in the public sector. And I think that difference in pricing, maybe the industry needs to address
But
somehow.
let's be honest, if there is a medical aid, there's a medical aid. That's good and well. But if you are worth millions, and many Americans are, and this is a drug which can prolong your life for another 3 to 6 months, that's
and improve the quality of your life
period,
as well.
which people are prepared to pay a significant amount for, because that's enough time then to get your affairs in order, you know, make up with your brother, sort out your kids' dispute, etc., etc. I'm being slightly flippant, but I mean, these are the sort of customers that are a game for these kinds of treatments.
There's no price on the quality and the longevity of life. So those that can afford it, I mean, will gladly pay.
Okay, so we are invested in this one because, in a way, biotechnology companies are very exciting. But rather than buy small ones that have like a one-hit wonder and are either going to double or go to zero, buying Amgen is a bit like buying BHP Billiton in the mining industry. You've got multiple deposits, you've got some award-winning stuff, some nice pipeline. So for me, it's hot. I like it. I'm in it. Your view?
Yeah, I also like it. I think they're at the leading edge of biotechnology. And if you feel positive about the space, then this one is one that you have to have.
Okay, good.